On this episode of ESTO, PGA Tour Latinoamérica, we will celebrate what would have been the 100th birthday of a Latin American sporting legend, the first Latin player to enter the World Golf Hall of Fame, and one of golf's most prolific winners, Argentina's El Maestro himself, Roberto de Vicenzo. And speaking of de Vicenzo's home country, we will go over everything you need to know as another edition of the Zurich Argentina swing winds down. All that and more coming up next on ESTO, PGA Tour Latinoamérica. ESTO, PGA Tour Latinoamérica. Last year, PGA Tour Latinoamérica knew it couldn't let the 100th anniversary of Roberto de Vicenzo's birth pass without recognizing him and all his contributions to the game of golf throughout the world, but specifically in Latin America. So, what better way to honor the man known as El Maestro than by creating the Roberto de Vicenzo's Memorial 100 Years? An official PGA Tour Latinoamérica tournament. And what better place to host this official Total Play Cup event than Ranelagh Golf Club, the historic Buenos Aires course where de Vicenzo learned the game. As the fifth tournament of the 2022-23 PGA Tour Latinoamérica Total Play Cup season, much is on the line as players return to action following a 3-month break after the playing of the first 3 tournaments of the 2022 portion of the schedule. It will also be Ranelagh's first time hosting an official PGA Tour affiliated tour tournament, and players are excited to resume action. Players will have the privilege of playing on a historic golf course, the place where Roberto de Vicenzo learned the game.
Su tarea era dar clase, poder practicar y encargarse de la cancha. Pero la realidad es que a Roberto no le gustaba demasiado dar clase. Él quería practicar y dedicarse a competir. Y eso fue lo que hizo. Yo siempre digo que acá empezó su vida golfística, empezó acá de alguna manera, porque acá vivía Delia, su mujer. Ella era la hija de Ricardo Castex, era el encargado de vestuario de caballeros. Y vivía acá en el Dormi, que es un chalet que está acá nomás muy cerquita del clubhouse de Ranelagh. Roberto le gustaba ir a practicar el putting green que había enfrente del Dormi. Era una manera de cortejarla a Delia. Y bueno, se terminó casando con Delia. Así que prácticamente toda su vida transitó acá en Ranelagh Golf Club.
Mis padres fueron a vivir cerca de una cancha de golf y yo comencé ahí con mis hermanos a hacer, no de caddy porque no podía, era muy chico. Antiguamente las bolsas de golf pesaban 6 kilos. Y después fui caddy durante unos cuantos años. Cuando ya estaba en la obligación de empezar a ir a buscar un trabajo, a los 16 años, que era ya grande, había terminado el colegio, se me ofreció el puesto de aspirante aquí en Ranelagh y fue que me vine para aquí, desde los 17 años que estoy aquí en Ranelagh.
Ranelagh Golf Club was love at first sight for de Vicenzo in 2 different ways. With Ranelagh's strong tie to de Vicenzo, it was an easy decision for the tour to take the tournament to the historic site and for Ranelagh to agree to host. Club president Paul Murray had a very close relationship with de Vicenzo.
Roberto tenía un secretario que se ocupaba de contestar sus cartas y las invitaciones a torneos. Esta persona era una persona mayor que falleció y Roberto se quedó sin secretario. Entonces un día me ve aquí en el club y me dice, necesito hablar con vos. venite para casa esta tarde y charlamos un poco. Así que yo dije, bueno, ¿qué me va a proponer? Y bueno, fui a la casa a la tarde y me propuso si yo no quería ser su secretario y ocuparme de contestar su correspondencia. Y por supuesto la respuesta fue que sí, para mí fue un honor. Hacer este torneo centenario de los 100 años del nacimiento de Roberto, creo que es un honor y es otra manera de homenajearlo. Roberto tuvo la suerte de recibir muchos homenajes en vida y este es un homenaje celebrando los 100 años de su nacimiento. Creo que es una fecha muy especial y el hecho de que el torneo se haga acá, en su club, en su casa, realmente es muy importante y merecido, sobre todo merecido.
In the 1930s, golf was certainly not the sport of choice for young boys in Argentina. Yet, De Vicenzo was not only drawn to the game, he found he had a passion for golf and was also naturally gifted. He was a phenom in Argentine amateur circles and turned pro at age 17. 2 years later, he was winning his initial title, the 1942 Abierto del Litoral, first of 229 championships he would win in his illustrious career. The sheer number of trophies De Vicenzo put in his trophy case during his impressive career makes him golf's most prolific winner.
Bueno, encontré algo que no existe en otro deporte, una relación humana muy buena, una relación de gente que viene y te admira con cariño, que te sigue, que te ayuda, que no te lleva por los malos caminos. En general, el golfista no te lleva por el mal camino. Yo he tenido la suerte de encontrar gente que me ha ayudado, que no me ha sacado de, como dice el paisano, no me ha sacado de la huella, ¿no? Y eso ha sido muy útil para mí, por eso yo siempre estoy agradecido a la gente y siempre digo que las cosas uno solo no la puede hacer, si no tenés ayuda es muy difícil hacerla.
Next, learn the perspective De Vicenzo had on professional golf, how he dealt with the fame that came with being one of the best players in the world, and how he overcame the professional heartache he endured, a trial he wouldn't allow to define his career. That's next on ESTO as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. ESTO as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. The legend of Roberto De Vicenzo may have started at Ranelagh Golf Club, but it eventually grew as he took his game worldwide. He had faced and beaten some of the best players in the world, Sam Snead and Jimmy DeMerit, among others. They had traveled from the US to Argentina to play tournaments and quickly became familiar with De Vicenzo. Eventually, De Vicenzo began traveling the world, where he also established a record that no player will likely ever break, winning 17 different National Opens.
El primer viaje que hice a Estados Unidos, el avión tardaba 3 días para llegar a Miami. No había aeropuertos nocturnos, así que tenías que viajar de día y de noche parabas y te quedabas a dormir y a la mañana, a las 7 de la mañana, volvías a hacer el viaje.
De Vicenzo's first 2 Open Championship appearances, in 1948 and 1949, yielded a pair of third-place finishes. The world was taking notice of the handsome, athletic player from Argentina. In 1950, he was the runner-up to South Africa's Bobby Locke at Royal Troon. He kept coming close. De Vicenzo played in his first Masters in Augusta, Georgia in 1951, tying for 12th, and he stayed in the States and competed in the US Open for the first time later that summer. After that, De Vicenzo became a regular in golf's most prestigious tournaments. Between 1948 and 1966, De Vicenzo recorded 11 top 10s in major championships, 7 of those top 5 performances. He also won the first 2 of his 7 PGA Tour titles, at the 1951 Palm Beach Round Robin and the Inverness 4-Ball, with partner Henry Ransom, wins that came 2 weeks apart. 3 more PGA Tour wins followed, along with dozens of international victories. Then 1967 arrived. For one magical week that summer, De Vicenzo's long-awaited breakthrough occurred. He took the 54-hole lead at the Open Championship at Royal Liverpool Golf Club in England, 2 strokes clear of Gary Player and 3 ahead of Jack Nicklaus. In the final round, he shot a 2 under 70 to become the champion golfer of the year, defeating the 2 legends. The claret jug was his.
But I do remember him as just a natural player. He certainly, to my recollection and what I observed, was that he was one of those natural players that had great rhythm. He was a big man. Probably a lot bigger than most of the average tour players at the time he was competing.
Es muy difícil dejar de recordar esas cosas, te llena de emociones y de alegría, y muchas veces ahora cuando lo vuelvo a ver a través de la televisión o a través de películas se te caen las lágrimas, porque a quién no le gusta repetir, ¿eh? Quedó Gary Player tercero y Jack Nicklaus segundo. Sí, había jugadores de importancia.
Halfway through its 7th playing, the Zurich Argentina swing has been as exciting as ever, with several players still in the hunt for its 2022-23 title. A competition unifying the 4 PGA Tour Latinoamérica events in Argentina, the Zurich Argentina swing rewards the player with the best performance across these events, with a beautiful trophy and a $10,000 check. With back-to-back runner-up finishes to start the race of the 116th Visa Open de Argentina, presented by Maestro, and the Neuquén Argentina Classic, Linus Liljedahl is the current leader in the race. The Swede has collected 600 points, but his 79-point lead is still far from securing him anything, with 2 tournaments left to play.
Estamos contentos con todos los que han ganado a lo largo de estos años. Creo que el esfuerzo es para todos los jugadores que a través de la gira en Latinoamérica hacen su camino para llegar al PGA Tour, y si nosotros podemos apoyar en ese camino, bienvenido sea.
Having earned 521 points, with a tie for 34th at the Visa Open de Argentina, and his victory at the Neuquén Argentina Classic, Chile's Cristobal del Solar is Liljedahl's biggest threat up to this point, a 2023 Korn Ferry Tour rookie who finished 2nd in the race for the Total Play Cup last season. Del Solar is also the 2022-23 Total Play Cup leader. He will be tough to beat if he shows up at the Termas de Rio Hondo Invitational in Santiago del Estero halfway through March. After its visit to Santiago del Estero, the Zurich Argentina swing will end with an exclamation point, as the tour celebrates the 100th birthday of Argentine golf legend and World Golf Hall of Famer Roberto de Vicenzo. Zurich will crown the swing champion at the Roberto de Vicenzo's Memorial 100 Years.
El honor de estar cerrando la gira en Ranelagh con los 100 años del nacimiento del maestro y qué sé yo, me parece que es una cosa que le da un valor enorme este año a la gira.
As part of its commitment, the Zurich Argentina swing continues to enhance this partnership, furthering its community outreach with a unique social program benefiting Fundación Integrar, a foundation whose personalized scholarship program supports university students in their efforts towards earning a college degree.
Es una fundación que hemos acompañado durante muchos años, una fundación que se dedica a un tema para nosotros crítico para el desarrollo de nuestros países y fundamentalmente de Argentina, que es la educación. La fundación beca a chicos que no tienen la posibilidad de ir a la escuela y les permite terminar su ciclo universitario.
In order to support the foundation, Zurich Argentina launched the Solidarity Hole program, which enables them to donate money for every birdie made on the 18th hole at each of these events. Through 2 Zurich Argentina swing events, they have raised over 3 million Argentine pesos this season.
Obviamente vos sabés que los jugadores hacen birdies, con lo cual estamos contentos y deseosos de que hagan muchos para poder acompañar a la fundación con mucho más dinero.
We look forward to an exciting final stretch of the 2023 Zurich Argentina swing. After the break, on ESTO as PGA Tour Latinoamérica, we'll continue reviewing the life of El Maestro, Roberto de Vicenzo.
I hope I look good.
And we'll take a look at the most memorable incident of his career at the Masters in Augusta. All of this and more when ESTO as PGA Tour Latinoamérica returns. ESTO as PGA Tour Latinoamérica. As a professional golfer who played all over the world, De Vicenzo understood his sport, not only as a competitor, but also as a businessman. His unique point of view as a professional golfer helped him immensely throughout his career.
El juego de golf es una administración de golpes, es una administración de dinero. Cuando vos agarrás y ganás la lotería y te la metés en el bolsillo y te vas a festejar, se acabó. Tenés que mantener ese dinero para ganar otra lotería. Y en el golf pasa eso. Si vos haces 3 birdies seguidos y después haces un doble bogey, lo perdiste todo. Así que es una administración de golpes y aquel que administra mejor los golpes durante 72 hoyos, que son 4 días de juego, es el ganador. Todo esto es una administración, no es ir a los garrotazos con la pelota como mucha gente piensa. Y además se tarda 4 días para ganar un torneo. No solamente son 4 días, son 4 días y 3 noches, ¿no? Que hay que estar ahí cuando vas primero y te interesan las cosas. El sueño no aparece tan rápidamente, ¿no?
A year after his big Open Championship triumph, De Vicenzo was on the verge of winning a title equal to that of the Open, the Masters. In one of the more famous Masters in history, De Vicenzo began the final round, on his birthday, in contention at Augusta National Golf Club.
Vos sabés que cuando yo salí a jugar ese día era el día de mi cumpleaños, el 14 de abril, y en el primero yo tiré el segundo tiro como de 160 yardas y la metí en el hoyo. Y yo no me acordaba de mi cumpleaños, entonces alguien empezaron a cantarme el feliz cumpleaños. Y me llenó de emoción y de entusiasmo, así que hice águila en el hoyo 1, birdie en el hoyo 2 y birdie en el hoyo 3. Estaba 4 bajo par en los primeros 3 hoyos y terminé con 31 golpes de ida y con 35 golpes de vuelta, que fue donde hubo el error.
At the par 3 17th hole, De Vicenzo made a birdie, a 3, but his playing partner marked him down for a par 4. After the round, De Vicenzo didn't notice the mistake and signed the card, the rules requiring him to take the score for which he signed. Instead of shooting a 65, he had to accept a 66. That left him a stroke behind Bob Golby. Ordinarily, the two would have played an 18-hole playoff the next day. But with the error, it was Golby who earned the green jacket, and De Vicenzo was left to suffer through the most disappointing loss of his career.
Him losing the tournament probably made him more, gave him more publicity than if he'd won. But clearly because he won the British Open in 1967, he was after he won the British Open, I think the American public, golfers, began to recognize what a great player he was.
Después de los años que han pasado, yo he ganado más prestigio firmando mal esa tarjeta que si la hubiese ganado. Realmente los que ganan el campeonato de maestro, a los 3 años ya la gente lo olvida. En cambio, mi nombre ha quedado grabado en la mente de la gente para toda la vida, porque aún todavía, cuando llega el 14 de abril, llegan periodistas de Estados Unidos a hablarme de esa famosa tarjeta y han pasado 44 años.
He was sort of the first player from South America that was really made an impact on the PGA Tour. And I think he was by his fellow competitors, and it would not be, you know, I wasn't a competitor back in the early 60s when he played a lot of golf. But I do recognize how really competitive and good a player he was, and he had a beautiful golf swing. I think that thinking back to his life in golf, I think he was a very great representative of his country and of South America.
What kind of man was Roberto De Vicenzo? Well, after all the issues he faced at the 1968 Masters tournament and the subsequent disappointment, De Vicenzo sought out Masters co-rules committee chair Ike Granger, who required De Vicenzo accept the score he had written on his card. Before leaving the course, De Vicenzo looked for Granger and found him on the clubhouse porch. Before Granger could offer his condolences to De Vicenzo, it was the Argentine who extended his hand first and apologized, saying, "I'm sorry I caused you so much trouble." Granger said it was the finest exhibit of sportsmanship he had ever experienced. Exactly 21 days after that disappointing day in Augusta, De Vicenzo was in Houston, Texas, proving how resilient he was as a player. At Champion Golf Club, De Vicenzo edged Lee Trevino by a stroke to win his 7th and final PGA Tour title. 2 years later, the United States Golf Association bestowed upon Roberto De Vicenzo the Bob Jones Award for Sportsmanship.
Era una persona muy especial. Esas personas que, como alguien que estaba por encima de todo lo demás. Además era amable, era muy agradable estar con él, siempre un trato perfecto, una persona con mucho sentido del humor, pícaro a veces en su forma de ser, en sus comentarios y todo lo demás, pero un grande, Roberto un grande, un ídolo.
Roberto De Vicenzo, a great champion and a great sportsman. All the more reason for PGA Tour Latinoamérica to honor his memory. On the next episode of ESTO as PGA Tour Latinoamérica, we will talk with the 4-time winner and current member of the Korn Ferry Tour, the Chilean Cristobal del Solar. Also, Mexican Juan Carlos Serrano accepts the fun challenge of answering 5 questions about his personal life. All this and more on the next episode of ESTO as PGA Tour Latino America.